Help Action Needed, a D&D podcast. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Help Action Needed, a D&D podcast. My name is Sean Hardy, and I am the GM of this show, and I'm here. We got some more stories to tell, but before we do that, who are you all?
Hi, I'm Nori, and wait, just kidding. I'm Kate Pizarczyk-Johnson, and I play Nori.
I'm Dan Johnson, and I play Cass.
I'm Julie Perez, and I play Frog.
Nice. So last time we saw our little gang of groups, they were the ones in charge, as the players reversed GM to session and led our soon-to-be princes and soon-to-be married and kings and all that, Dion and Julian through a scavenger hunt of their own home, allowing Archimedes to kind of get into a lot of their stuff and make Dion even more not like him. But at the end, they had a great time, as Frog was able to use some frog magic to make a tree of love appear that had a little visage of all of their stuff and a mural of their time together, and they were very appreciative and happy. And yeah, we join our party now, probably the next day, as they have some things around town they want to do. They know that there's an impending deadline of now 3 weeks until the official royal wedding, and Nori is supposed to at some point put on the unofficial, but official to the two of them wedding. And yeah, there's just a couple of other things they want to do around town, so we join them the next morning as they start their things. Players, I turn it now to you.
I think I would try and get with Dion and Julian separately, but right away in like the next morning. So then that way I can start putting a little bit more finesse to their wedding ceremony, but also just get them right away, as I'm sure they're packing things up and getting things ready for their travel plans. So I would like to try and knock on their door or see them in the breakfast hall, whatever I can do to like grab them each separately just for like a couple of minutes.
Yeah, that is perfectly fine. I feel like Julian is going to be a lot easier to find separately. I feel like Dion, you can easily get to him. It's just when is it able. In terms of the packing up and doing all of the like getting things ready for the trip, not much is actually being done there because they don't need to bring that much with them. Everything when they're in the main city of Patronale, which is the capital of the entire country, for anyone that is unaware, is going to be provided for them. Like, they're essentially going to be on parade for the 2 weeks leading up to the wedding of, hey, look, is fun, future monarchs, hooray. So a lot of that will be covered for them, and also they're going back to the royal family's house of a giant castle, so they don't need to bring dishes or anything. So in terms of prep work, it's not much. The staff are more just starting to get it turned down, so it's what's going to be needed by the staff, what's going to be needed by the people that will be staying here, and what's not going to be needed for the next couple of weeks, and let's take those rooms and kind of cover them up. So it's less like a panic of pack everything and more a feeling of this place is shutting down. But you're able to easily enough find whichever one you want, but more easily you would find Julian.
I will start with Julian. I think that he will have more of the finesse and desire to have input on the final details of the ceremony that I need.
In when you're here, he has the tendency to come join you all for breakfast anyway, so it's you're able to grab him one of the mornings that he's in your all's place and take him for a private talk. If you phrase it as, I want to do you one-on-one separately and then do Dion one-on-one separately, you'll get a laugh from him, but he's willing to talk.
I will definitely phrase it like that. And then upon walking out with Julian, I will say, I mean, for the wedding, to talk about the ceremony, not to, have any other types of implications. Sorry, it's really early in the morning, and I have yet to have my first sip of Nori coffee. But how are you, Julian?
Yeah, doing good. I don't think we need more Nori coffee. You are already in top form. But hey, if it's what gets you through the day, what gets you through the day? You're not getting in my pants either way. So hey, have a good time.
That's great.
Let's go talk about the wedding.
Perfect. Anyway, so do you have any idea where you and Dion would like to have the ceremony?
No, because well, we knew it wasn't going to be in the church or anything, but Frog built that cool tree. That could be a nice little backdrop thing. I know it's kind of small and it's going to grow as it grows and everything, but could be fun to have the tree. Could also be fun we met at a tavern I was performing in. It could be really fun to go back there. But I don't know. I'm sure we're gonna have to not be doing a lot publicly for the next bit because we need to be all safe and all that. So I don't know if they're gonna really if they'd let us go there, but I mean that would be cute. I don't know, really anywhere. It could even be outside of the city.
Oh, okay. Do you want to have any type of decorations, like any flowers or greenery or woodwork, anything along those lines?
Flowers are nice. Oh, you mean okay, I was imagining that you were gonna make fields of flowers on the ground. You want you want to find some flowers and make them work.
Either that, or I think we have some magic at our disposal that we could spruce up the place if we need to, whether it's by the big tree or just the tree that you guys had from the bachelor party, or if we went out into the wilderness and did it there as well.
I think it'd be really fun to be in a field of flowers. That would be cute.
Do you have a specific kind of flowers or color of flowers?
No, I think any of them would be fine. As long as they're nice looking flowers. None of those ugly flowers that people say are flowers, but you're that's clearly a weed that's masquerading as a flower, or oh, but it's a flower that's good for the environment. No. No.
You got it. And Nori internally, I will be thinking about the fact that I like those flowers, but I wasn't going to do that anyway for their ceremony, but I will make sure I really note not to do that. Is there anything within the context of the ceremony that you don't want? You don't want it to be super flowery with the language, and you want it to be really direct, or you don't want it to be that direct and you want it to be really flowery and lovey, or a combination of both?
I feel like a combination of both is the only way to accurately represent both of us. Because I would say, make it as big as you want, but I know Dee would be like, why are you saying so many words? But if it's too direct, I feel like neither of us are going to be that happy. I mean, we're going to be happy regardless, but if it's too direct, we're oh, that was short. So I don't know, not forever, but it'd be fun to have some words.
Okay, perfect. Is there anything you also don't want included in the ceremony?
Nah, kind of it's whatever we want it to be. So just I don't know, whatever. If you don't think we'd like it, don't have it there.
Are you guys going to be reading your own vows to one another?
We probably should.
Okay, perfect. Vows. Do you want me to mention the church at all within the ceremony?
I mean, we don't need unless there's a need to. If there's a need to, I guess. But if we don't need to, we don't need to.
Perfect. Okay. What is your favorite thing about Dion?
I like how warm he is. He's always kind and warm and forgiving.
What is one of your favorite memories of you two?
That's a lot. There was a time when we were at like the medical home, and he was helping people out, and the way that the sun caught his eyes and he was smiling, they kind of lit up in a way that they only really do when the light catches them. And it was very nice to see him so happy helping people, and just seeing his eyes sparkle.
While Julian is saying this, Nori is just slowly going to be melting into her like little cup of coffee that she's carrying with her, and then snap out of it and say, "Wow, that's beautiful! I love all that. I think that's all I need. Do you have anything else that you wanted to give me input about, or that's it? You feel great."
That feels fine. I don't know, I trust you all enough. Like, oh, don't put that frog in it.
Oh, Archimedes?
Yeah, we don't need that.
No worries. We were gonna let him have his own adventure that day and have a very important thing he needs to do in our rooms in a closed space. We understand what happened with the bachelor party and some feelings, even though it was super fun and Frog did a great job, but just in case.
Yeah, that frog is too much.
Yeah. Archimedes is like me. He doesn't quite understand human-to-human interaction quite yet. But I would like to say I'm a more refined version of Archimedes. But anyway, thanks, Julian. And Nori will just like skip away.
Nice. Let's go over to Frog. What are you up to this morning?
Frog will get up and have her breakfast, and then she'll write some notes to her family at home, letting them know that she got here safely and is hoping to return soon, but not too soon. And then she'll head off looking for Steph and Alto. Because they're here already, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
You had told them to get here like this morning, essentially. You also know that they come from the south, and so it would probably be like best to find them at the south gate if you wanted to meet them as they arrived, or you could like go slightly outside of town so they can't miss you on the path in. You don't imagine that they would be in town because that's not their vibe. So if you wanted to head to the south gate or just a little more south of the gate to like the open fields, that would be your best spot to find them.
Yeah, Frog will head over there and keep her eye out for them.
Nice. Anything that you're doing, anything you're trying to notice while you're by yourself? Because it's kind of the first time you're by yourself in months, but especially in the last 2 weeks.
That is true. I think she'd probably just take the time to like sit down by a tree and just like look around and take in her surroundings and kind of just like exist without thinking too much. And then also be aware, looking for Steph and Alto.
Yeah. And after about like half an hour of sitting there, they show up. You can see them walking up on the horizon. In their typical, like, very relaxed but very, like, practiced method of always staying within a couple feet of each other, always moving very similar. And they're on the main road, so if you're, like, sitting under a tree, you'd have to call out to them for them to see you. But you can see them.
Yeah, Frog will jump up and throw open the gate and kind of run out to catch up to them, and then give them both a very big hug.
To clarify, you're trying to throw open the southern gate to the city?
Okay, fine. Is it not? I mean, is it open though?
It's open, but it's like a checkpoint.
Okay. Okay, well, it's fine. It's fine. Fine. She will wait for them to get through the checkpoint.
Like, you're able to go to the other side. I love the idea of Frog trying to take control of the city and be like, mine now, without anything going poorly.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Frog will run out and give them both a big hug, even though she kind of recognizes that that's not necessarily their vibe, but she's just too excited to see them.
Yeah. Alto gives you, I mean, they both give you a hug back. Alto's is much more like hands on back, arms very stiff, not knowing what to do, especially because you are like half his height. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, a child, hello. Steph's is a bit more welcoming. And also you hear in your head, it's nice to see you. Hope you're having a good time. Which you would know the last time you met, he intentionally like chose to shut off your connection. So at some point he's allowed himself to open back up to you.
Yeah. Frog hearing him speak will like get a little, like happy on the inside, and then will will respond and be like, I missed you guys so much. I'm so glad that you're here. And then she'll kind of start walking with them, heading back to the castle?
Yeah, it's more
Manor?
like a chateau or manor.
Chateau? Okay.
It's not really a castle or a palace. It's like the royal home here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. On the walk back, Alto's like, yeah, so what do you all do for the last bit of time since we saw you?
We left them before we left with Dolly, right? Yes, okay.
Yeah, it was you walked into the
Yes.
center of town, went, wait a minute, why are we trying to walk in town? And then went, goodbye, friends, and then turned around and walked back to the pirate ship and said, hello, can we please come back? Was the last time you saw them.
Yeah. So Frog will update them and let them know, like, we went to Cass's home and we fixed some things up there, and we were able to get his family home all set up and returned to its prior state. We went to... Oh. We saw the Fae... No? What's the druid?
The druid circles.
The druid circles. And Nori got some answers that will hopefully help us with you guys.
I mean, that's exciting, right? Maybe?
Yeah, I hope so. I think Nori can give you a little bit more information about that too. Because I don't think Frog actually knows everything.
No, you all had like talked a bit on the way back, but it was more of like, okay, we need to just be moving. So, never really had a full debrief between the three of you.
Yeah, and then we also went to my home, and I got to see my siblings, which was really exciting. And now we're kind of back here. So, what have you guys been up to since we saw you?
Well, the fields are clean again. We made sure that the flowers all looked nice, and then we've been training, and then we kind of were like, maybe we go and find a new house that's not here. Maybe we go like there's other countries and islands, and maybe if we go away from where things are seemingly bad because of things that we're related to, and it gets worse, that's bad. So maybe we leave. But we didn't leave because we knew we had to see you guys. So we're still here.
Frog, visibly looking like upset about this, is gonna say, I'm glad that you like had the idea to find somewhere safer, and I hope that it doesn't come to that, but I support you and will help you find something, somewhere that you can go if needed. But I really hope that we're gonna get this sorted out so that doesn't have to happen.
Yeah. I guess it's also like, what is sorted out? Like, and then you hear from Steph, like, it's sorted out the whole, like, if the evil thing is gone, so am I. Like, I feel like we still have a lot of questions about sorted out, but hey, we get to go meet some people, right? And tries to walk a little faster into town towards the manor house.
Good. Yeah, when we get there, we'll Frog will barge in with the door open and be like, "We're back! We're back! I have Stefanauto."
You had told the princes about them. Did you tell the princes that they were coming to stay?
Yeah, well, we told them they were coming when we had like the weird circle.
You
chat
said,
thing.
yeah, you had been like, yeah, and we're also going to meet up with our friends in the city.
I thought that we told them they were coming.
I mean, if you at some point you did not then, but if you at some point you want to
Okay.
be like, and they also, we said they'd stay with us, is fine, because currently the world canon is that they knew they were coming. They did not know that they were coming as invited guests.
It's true. It's true. Well, no, that's okay. If we didn't say that, then we didn't say that. So they're here. And they are invited guests by Frog.
Okay, then yeah, as Frog walks in the front door, just with two other people that are huge and tall and very much like not used to being in a city, let alone a well-structured area like this, the staff kind of give you a look and they're like, Frog, what? Are you trying to find audience with Prince Dion, or what are the people here with you for? You know we have a reception hall, right?
Oh, Frog will just be like, "This is Stefanauto," and then like start walking away with them to find Nori and Cass.
Okay. We'll handle it. And just you see the staff all start moving around to like some of them going off to try and figure out what they can learn about these two people. Some of them are going to try and find Dion to be like, do we need approval? Some like just all the staff scrambling as you once again introduce Chaos to their home. Cass, what have you been up to this morning?
Cass would have woken up probably earlier than most and heard Nori skipping out the door saying, "I gotta go do the princes," and shake his head knowing that that's going to be received extremely well. Aside from that, just sort of relaxing for the time being, trying to figure out exactly what needs to be getting done. One thing that he still has on his person is, I believe, the gift that he got from Barut in...
Yep.
Or did I open that already?
No, you have not opened it yet.
Yeah, but I'll probably take the time and open that now, just since I have a little bit of, like, alone time. Just open it, sort of see. I believe there was potentially a letter attached, or was it just a gift?
Mm-hmm. No, there's a letter in it too.
I'd probably open the letter first and then open it and see what Barut left me, knowing full well that this could very well be a heartfelt gift, or this could be some kind of joke. Not sure which one it's going for.
Fair. Yeah, when you pull back the paper and are able to access the envelope for the first time, you see that it says, figured you didn't need to trust me with it if you had it. And then when you open the package, you see the dagger that you knew was behind that brick in the chimney. It's an obsidian dagger that has a spot where you can pour a vial of poison into it, so that when it stabs, the poison goes directly into the bloodstream. And he has gifted it to you. You at one point had one of these. I have no idea what you've done with yours. But after you had been like, hey, just know not to use it, Beirut chose to take it out of his home and give it to you.
I'll smirk and look down at it, and I'll keep it on my person, knowing full well that unless there's a very good intention to use it, I'm not going to be using it. I'm trying to leave that part of life behind me. But I will keep it on my person. It'll be on me at all times, probably hidden, so no one's really going to see it. But I'll sort of chuckle to myself, being like, it's not what I meant by that letter. I mean, by that comment, but that's fine.
Yep.
So, aside from that, I'll probably be going over some notes that I would have taken over our travels over the last 2 weeks, just trying to figure out exactly what can I be doing in this meantime, knowing that Frog and Nori sort of are handling the more personal connections with the princes, not really my forte.
Mhm.
And as I'm going through, I'll remember that I need to go and try to sort out the connection issues that the twins are having in my hometown. Mina and Alexandra are having with the parents' store.
Sure. Yeah. So where do you think you would head first?
I really wouldn't be sure of that, so I'll sort of just step out of my room at this point, I'm assuming some of the commotion from Seth and Alto being now in the manor in general.
No. At this point, Frog would actually just be heading out to go find them. They are not back yet.
Is not Julian, is Dion around?
Yeah, he's somewhere. Nori just took Julian, so you know that they're not together. So Dion is somewhere in the house.
Yeah. Sort of knowing he still has a lot going on, I'd probably just sort of meander through town trying to figure out, like, hey, where is this going to be? Like, maybe spend 30 minutes or so just trying to find and ask the general population, like, hey, like, where could I go to get this resolved? Just trying to leave Dion to relax as much as he can as a person.
Yeah. You know where the market is because you all have spent a bit of time there. You also know where the university is, which is kind of like the intellectual head of the city. You've spent a couple days there as a student, and you would know that they don't have like any sort of like governmental financier or anything, but either the university people or some of the merchants would be able to point you towards the like business sector of town. Where there's like just a representative from the north who's like controls the state bank, who would be able to talk about trade lines and stuff like that.
Okay, sort of following those tips, I'd make my way through the town, just sort of not really in a rush, knowing that like we have time. It's sort of an odd case where we don't have anything to do right at this moment, so be going through town trying to find a pipe just to be able to like smoke some tobacco, nothing too crazy, but overall, that's just a side quest, just trying to focus on the financial department more or less.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah, you're able to get that pipe easily, able to acquire, and a rather nice one because now you have enough of a means to acquire kind of whatever you need from the city. And you can make your way over to the financial area. It's like not busy because the only people that would be there are traders in the town or people who have business outside of town, and it's still very early in the morning, so most of those people would be doing like the deliveries of what they need for the day before stopping here. So when you walk in, there's like 4 or 5 offices, but only 1 or 2 of them have people in, and then a receptionist at the front, and he's like, hey, you're a new face. Are you here to trade? Are you here to enter into some sort of commerce? What is your intention today?
Good morning. Castle sort of like look outside, still make sure it's morning. Just
Yeah.
And look to, you said as a guy, right?
Yep.
Okay. Good morning, sir. I'm looking to actually try to set up relations for a group, actually. I'm from the town of Ansel, small town in the southwest, if you are unaware. And there is a general store there that was run by an older woman when I was growing up. Since then, her daughters have taken over ownership of the shop, and they've seemed to have lost their contract to just have general commerce like sort of come in for them in general. I was hoping to help get that reset up for them.
Yeah. We can set you up with that easily enough as long we don't need if you're not trying to like get yourself a business license or anything, we can look at that. Do you know why the contracts went under in the first place?
I think they weren't able, and I believe Cass knows this, but I'm not sure. I believe
Yeah.
that they just couldn't get the name switched from their mom to them, I believe. They weren't able to really to make it to the capital to truly switch it. So I believe since then it just sort of went under and they weren't able to make a trip in. It's a very small town, so one of them being gone probably would be very hard on them to even run the shop. So just unfortunate, like, lack of convenience to try to get up here.
Okay. Yeah, if it's a simple name change, you can do that, but we do need one of them or a letter from them saying that you're like an official representative and can make legal changes for them. Do you have either a way of getting them here or a letter confirming this for you?
I can get you a letter. I'll have to stop back in, but I will get a letter sent here and I'll send it up just so I know. Is there anything else you would need aside from that letter? Is there any monetary donation, so on and so forth?
No, just like we, the people of the store, agree that you, the person in front of me, can speak on behalf of our business and make changes as needed within realms of not official financial matters. Something along that line is all we need, and then we can find the records, we can switch it up, we can do all that.
Okay. Well, I will make sure I go get that really quick, and I will be back as soon as I can. There may be a chance that I will be out of town by the time this letter comes in. If I can get the letter forwarded to you, could you still get this done?
Sure. I guess just have it handled by, I guess, deliver it here. Sure, that works. Yeah.
All right, if that works, I will have a letter sent to town and I'll make sure it gets forwarded to you, and then I'll ask him for a piece of stationery and a pen, and I'll just write up a quick letter saying I, Cassius Chromas, would like to set up just commerce connections with the capital for the Enter Store name here under the ownership of Alexandra and Mina from the town of Ansel type thing, and just sign it. So when he gets the letter, he has my letter just sort of saying what needs to happen and that as well. And I'll just sort of be on my way. Before I leave, I'll just give him a gold piece and just say, thank you very much for the help. It is important to the town just to get this reset up.
Yeah, and then you make your way back towards the house. Nori's first interview would be wrapping up.
Actually, before going back to the house, I would probably go... no, I probably would go back to the house. You're correct, because I'll go write that letter and get it sent out. Mm-hmm. And I'll make sure just to ruffle feathers, I'll make sure to address it to Alexandra, the nice, polite one, primarily, and just put at the end, oh yeah, Mina too.
Nice. Yeah, you're able to stop by the posts. Frog has shown you where they are for sure if you haven't gotten them from your own letters, and send them off very quickly. The mail service in this country, amazing. But yeah, and then when you make it back, Frog, you would be just arriving with Stefanelto. Nori would probably be just finishing up the first of Julian's interviews. And so all three of you have a chance to be together, or if Nori's interview is running long, you and Frog and Stefanelto have a chance to be together.
Knowing Nori, I would think that her interview is probably running longer than it really should have, because she talks a lot at times. So yeah. I'll get back just seeing the three of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. In the common room between all of your kitchenette suites and all that, just Frog sitting with Stefanelto.
Frog seeing Cass open the door, we'll just be like, Cass, you're back, and then gesture to our guests and be like, they're here.
It's good to
I
see
can-
you. Welcome back.
Pleasure to see you as well. And I'll just give like a slight nod to both of them, and just on inspection, do they look pretty much exactly the same as they were? Nothing's changed since the last time we saw them?
Nah, they look pretty unaffected by whatever they've done. Like I said, it was mostly like menial labor and plans, so nothing that would be like big or in the way.
Well, I'm glad you two were able to make it to your home safely and then make it here safely, and sort of a little bit quieter, be like, really didn't have any doubts about that, but still glad nonetheless.
Mhm.
Frog, were you able to reconnect with your friend? And I'll look to the other brother.
Yes. Yeah, Frog will then look at Seth again and just like send him a little message without anyone else being able to hear clearly. Everybody else is just like staring at her like, what?
Staring
Why?
at Seth, yeah. As you go to send something to Seth sends something to you like, does he not know my name? Is that why he calls me the other brother and the other one and stuff like that?
Frog will then stare at Cass and be like, what's his name?
Beth?
And then Frog will look back at Seth and be like, I guess he knows it.
Because at times it
Sorry.
feels like he doesn't know who either of us are.
And sort of getting that question and figuring out, just from insight in the conversation in general, Cass will just say, just so you guys know, I know both of your names. There's also times where I don't remember which one's which, so I do apologize. So if I refer to you as the other brother or the big one, then just know that like sometimes names aren't really my thing.
And as Cass is saying that, I will come into the room, just frolicking away, and say, guys, you have to hear what Julian gave as suggestions for the ceremony. And then I'll notice both Seth and Alto coming in. I'll be like, oh, hello! How are you guys doing? Man, this is such a fine morning. Can you tell that I've had like 3 cups of coffee already? This is going to be a very productive day.
Is that safe for her volume to have that much in the system?
For our sanity, no.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, well, hello Nori, welcome back. I'm glad you're feeling productive. What, you wanted to tell them something? You don't, if it's secret, you don't need to bring it up, but we don't let us impede your plans. I think Frog has already made us impede the plan of the staff. So we're gonna need to apologize to the staff at some point.
I'll handle it. Don't. You guys didn't do anything wrong. And I'll just look at Frog back. Did we not tell them?
We did nothing wrong. We're not an inconvenience. They're just here.
Frog, that didn't answer my question. Did we tell the staff they were coming?
And who's to say?
And with that, Cass just turns around, takes a deep breath, and leaves, and just goes to talk to the staff.
Yep. As Cass begins his tour of apologies on Frog's behalf. Yeah. Nori, what else do you do as you come inside?
I would kind of give Frog the down low on what Julian said about the ceremony. So maybe having it be outdoors in a field of flowers or by the tree that was sprouted during the bachelor party, in addition to Julian's favorite memory of Dion and how sweet that was, and then asking Frog, do you potentially have any magic that could help us like sprout wildflowers or something along those lines if we just like found a field and set up the ceremony there?
Yeah, it's possible.
How long would it last?
That's a good question. I don't know. Oh, no, I don't. I only have minor illusion. I thought that I had something else that could help with that. I lied to you.
That's
Frog is
okay.
not helpful.
Well, if you have just like a little bit of pizzazz, maybe we'll find something at like the very end that you could do things with. Another question about Julian that you might not know. Does he have like a favorite color? Or anything along those lines that you would know about?
Is it blue? I feel like we asked this when we...
I thought it was purple.
Purple?
I could be wrong, though.
Purple feels right.
Purple.
Listeners, in the current timeline, I'm aware that 4 weeks ago on this show we say both of their favorite colors.
Yes.
Please know, in our timeline, we recorded that 4 months ago. We do not remember their favorite colors. If things are wrong, their favorite colors are being re-established right now, as Julian's is purple, and I think Dion's was green. I think.
And green.
We
Perfect.
don't want a Barney-themed wedding, though. It's just straight up Barney.
Yeah.
Purple and blue. How about that?
Yeah. Yes, are being re-established as purple and blue.
Perfect. And then, I know that we have seen Julian perform at least once, but what instrument, if he uses one, is typical for his performances?
He typically sings and then has a whole spectral orchestra playing behind him.
Okay. Okay, perfect. If you, Frog, have any other things that you think I should input, let me know. I do have one very important but sad piece of news. They don't want a certain little jumpy friend to be there. Just trying to be as vague as possible, hopefully not having Archimedes listen in, because I don't want Archimedes to be offended. So we need to figure out what to do with a little buddy.
Okay. Frog kind of will look at you and like start brainstorming. You can see the wheels turning. And then also, as you say, hoppy friend, Archimedes will poke his head out from the bedroom and be like, hopping? I like hopping.
Are we hopping here today?
Sounds so much better than my rendition. Sounds so much better than my rendition of that voice.
Archimedes, yes. Hello, good morning. I actually have, seeing Frog's wheels turn, I'll come up with something real quick, even though the ceremony's not today. I have a huge favor to ask. Can you try and go out into Solana and figure out like what kinds of wildflowers are around? If you see any blue or purple ones, can you bring them back for me?
Yes, I can do this. And I will be perfectly good, and I definitely remember my way around town. It'll be perfectly fine. Goodbye! And then Archimedes tries to like leave the room, sees that the door is closed, and goes, can someone let me out, please?
And at that moment, Cass would be sort of coming back from his unfun conversation with the staff and guards and sort of just open the door to a large frog trying to get out. And I'll just look to the group. I'll look to the group, look at him leaving alone, look back to the group, and be like, should I go with him?
No.
I am an expert adventurer. I am on a quest. I am leaving my hometown to find the wildflowers.
As
Bro.
one might say, he's a strong, independent frog, and he don't need no man.
Frog will then just slowly get up and be like, I got this, and will slowly trail Archimedes like she's like his security tail, and try not to be seen by him because
And
she
I'll
does
just-
not trust that he will not ruin everything.
And I'll just hold
Make
the
me a
door
stealth
open
check.
for you.
Stealth check? Okay.
Frog, make a stealth check. Let's see how well you can hide from Archimedes.
I mean, I feel like his intelligence is what, like -1?
Hey, that doesn't mean you can't see things.
I guess. Okay. Sorry.
You're good.
Okay.
Yes, his intelligence
modifier.
is -4, but his wisdom is 0, and that's what you use to see things.
Okay. Alright, okay. 14.
Yeah, he has a passive perception of 12, so you barely beat it, but you are able to
God.
stay hidden in the background, just trailing Archimedes. Are you following him like through the whole city, or are you just getting him out of the house?
I don't trust him to not like go up to some random person and talk to them, and then they're gonna try to like sell him as like some miracle. So I'm gonna follow him.
Okay. So yeah, as Cass opens the door, Archimedes goes out, and then a couple seconds later, Frog going out quietly behind him. I guess we'll come back to you in a bit. Nori and Cass, what are you both doing with the brothers who Frog has invited into this home and then promptly abandoned?
And I'm just as Frog is leaving with the other frog, I'm just gonna look and see just big hops from Archimedes just down the road, and Frog like almost cartoon hiding, like tiptoeing, like hiding behind like a tree that she doesn't fully like fit behind, but still trying to hide there, and just take a deep breath and shut the door and come back into the conversation, and just sort of catch up with Nori and see what else we need to do.
Yes. Good question. Did Frog happen to let you guys know what we found out in the Druid Circle? Or did she say she didn't really remember / didn't know? Because it's hard for me to remember some things that we chat about late at night.
Yeah, she said that you both went and that you got some answers about stuff. She didn't say anything about what she did there. So I kind of just imagined she was, I don't know, sitting around waiting for you to do something. But she said that you got answers that were maybe about us, and that was all she said.
Okay, perfect. So, what I remember, and Sean, fill in any blanks that I have, we found out that the the pink magic or pink hue coming off of the cleric or whoever we saw a while back after the announcement about the church and from you guys is a type of fairy magic and stems from Gemini, who is an old archfey.
Mhm.
And apparently in my notes I put that she sucks. I may,
Okay.
as Nori, looking at her at my notebook, I may have needed to be more specific, but that's okay. So, not very good. We don't like her. She's pretty immortal because she found a way to remove her twin's blood.
She made, like, her twin didn't exist. She made someone out of her blood. That's like a secondary part of her. So that's where, like, there's two of them, her physical form and her blood.
Oh, well, there's that. And the forest fairies really don't like her. And I think I have a book that I need to read. History of the Archfey.
Mm-hmm. That is a book you have that you have not yet chosen to read.
And I have yet to read it, so let me get this ceremony worked on, and then I'll read that book, and I'll come back to you. But just know, there's an evil archfey that we don't like very much. Or I guess maybe she's not evil, but people don't really like her. So, that's what I found out.
Oh.
Yeah, and Nora will give them 2 thumbs up.
Well, thank you for sharing. It's good to know. It doesn't. She's immortal part doesn't really aid in the helping in any way. But hey, we know more, and that's good. And why
True.
is the fairy magic tied to the church?
That is one part we have yet to decipher. So when we get there, we'll let you know. I need to go talk to Dion. I will be back in a little bit. Have fun with Cass. And I will walk out of the room. I will attempt to find Dion through sending a message.
Like his schedule. You would know where he'll be around different times of the day. You could just check a couple of spots and find him. As Cass, you're left alone with the brothers, and they're like, "Did we come at an inconvenient time? It seemed this was the time you told us to come, but it really seems like it wasn't a good time for us to be here."
And I'll look back at the door where Frog just was pranced out with Archimedes, and then just see Nori just quick little steps up the stairs to go find Dion, and just again take a deep breath, pull up my new pipe, load it up, light it, and be like, why don't we sit down and just converse for a while? You guys aren't doing anything wrong. You're not an inconvenience. I apologize. We sometimes just aren't great about scheduling things. And when I say this, which one is the older one? Seth is the older one, right?
No, Alto's the older one.
Alto. I'll look at Alto and just sort of like give him a look, hopefully seeing that he recognizes what I'm trying to say. And I'll just gesture them towards I'm assuming there's like a fireplace or like a mantle somewhere on the first floor, right?
Yeah.
I'd
you all use to scavenger hunt.
Yeah, right. I'd probably just gesture them towards that and have them sit down and just converse with them for a little bit, catching up, seeing if there's anything about their history that I don't know or didn't remember, and just talk with them for, 30 minutes to an hour, letting them sort of talk about whatever they want to, and hopefully having Seth talk a little, seeing if I can get Seth more comfortable with myself as opposed to just Frog, knowing that I know he can't talk, but still.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And you go and retreat, and we will go with Frog, following an Archimedes towards whatever Archimedes deems the location of wildflowers in a city. So Frog, as you're like trailing him, you would know what he has seen because he's only seen what you have shown him since you've been back in town part 2, which was the path to the southern gate, the path from the west, which does not have flowers and stuff coming in because it goes like forest to like the farm and then right in. The only spot that he really would have seen flowers would be the like the spot that you were sitting this morning, which does not have anything purple and blue, and the like private gardens of people that live up in like the nicer part of town. So you see Archimedes start jumping into like going westward towards like the nice part of town. Being like, I know where flowers live and I'm gonna get myself flowers. It's flower time, hooray! Just singing very openly on the street as he jumps down the main street.
Okay. If I were to cast invisibility on him,
Mm-hmm.
would that people would still be able to hear him, which is fine because they'll just be confused. But at least the people whose flowers he's stealing won't be able to see him.
That's the thought, yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and cast invisibility on him. Will he be able to tell?
Will he know that he's
You are-
invisible?
Yeah.
Not like he might see himself missing, but he's not smart enough to like really put it together. And
Yeah,
also
I
he
didn't think
isn't the
so.
kind of frog that like looks down and analyzes his body all the time. So no, he would not. The only thing is that it is a touch spell, so you would need to get up and touch him to turn him invisible, unless you have ways of casting it at a distance.
No. Okay. Okay. Frog will take. She has her bag with her because she just always has that. And inside she definitely has some like snacks from breakfast that she stashed in there. So she's going to toss like a croissant or something, maybe that has sweet on it, because we know he likes sweets. And she'll throw that like up ahead, but like to the side so that he didn't see where it came from necessarily. And she's gonna hope that he notices it, and that while he's eating it, he will be too distracted to notice her touch him.
Okay, so part one is you want to throw a sweet so that he sees it and is like, I'm gonna go eat this random food that fell from the sky. Fully on brand for him, no issue there. And then part two is you want to do it subtly enough. Okay, go ahead and make it. Let's do sleight of hand, and he's gonna make a perception check at disadvantage because he is eating, and that is all his little frog brain can think about. Oh, he got an 8 and a 2 on the die. So with a plus 0 to that is a 2.
Okay, well, I got a 19.
Okay, then yeah, you are able to quietly sneak up behind Archimedes as he's eating a snack, and you're like, oh, yeah, I love this city. Oh, pastries fall from the sky, and they're berry flavored, and the sky gods must know I like berries. I'm going to need to tell Miss Frog we need to make offerings to the sky gods, because the sky gods give you berry pastries. And it's just sitting there, like, eating this pastry in that weird way where his tongue, like, grabs parts of it, and has to just, like, nom it and pull it back in, and you're able to run up and cast invisibility on him without him noticing.
Perfect. Okay. Well, I'll let him finish up his little treat, and then maybe throw a rock in the direction he was heading in case he forgot where he was going, because he seems like he would do that.
Yeah. Drawing his attention back, like, oh yeah, there's something that way. Flowers! Yeah. I need to go get the flowers. And continues hopping along, leaving the pastry there half finished, heading towards the private flower gardens.
Good.
Anything else
Frog
you're
will
doing
follow.
with him in this moment? Okay, cool. Follow.
No.
Yeah, you see he gets to like the front yard of someone's like manicured tulip garden, and is like, oh, these ones are pretty. Oh, and they have bugs. If I eat the bugs, then I can take the flowers because I'm doing them a service by getting rid of the bugs, and they can owe me in flowers. And you just hear this voice from nowhere narrating how he's planning to steal these flowers, and someone comes up and is like, I'm sorry, do you hear that?
To me?
To you, yeah.
Oh. No, I don't. What are you talking about?
Make a deception check. They might be a commoner, but that's weird.
For me not
they
to
got
be
a
able to hear it?
15.
Okay. You said deception.
Yeah.
Ooh, good thing I have +5 to that. Okay, 17.
Okay. So yeah, this random commoner, not commoner, well, they're a commoner, but they're a noble person, like, walks up and is like, do you hear that? As the sound of Archimedes narrating how they're going to steal from this person's garden is happening. And you say, no, I don't hear it. Like, we need to call the church. There must be ghosts in town. We need to
Oh,
get
God.
we need to get the exterminators going. Have you heard of other people seeing ghosts?
Knowing full well that she just had a conversation with her ghost mother, Frog is gonna be like, "No, I haven't. Have you seen ghosts?"
Okay, make another deception check, and and be like, well, I've never seen a ghost before, but I'm hearing a ghost now, and it's saying it's going to steal my flowers in return for eating flies. It's the strangest conversation I've ever heard. It cannot be of this world.
All right, I got a 14.
Okay, I'm gonna check that. Oh yeah, they got a 12. You're fine.
Okay.
No, I have not seen ghosts. Yeah, they're like, do you think will the spirits be more angry if I try and prevent them from taking my flowers, or what do I do?
Well, I mean, if they are helping you by eating the bugs, is that what you said? They're eating the bugs?
I'm not sure I said that, did I?
I think you did.
Yeah, wait, yeah,
You
they
just
did.
said that.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, but the bugs they live in the flowers. It's their home. It's part of the ecosystem. Does it really aid if we're just eradicating both home and resident?
You know what? I really don't know, but I think that if this ghost is just going to take a few flowers, I think it could be a lot worse. So maybe we just don't tell anyone, cuz if we do, maybe this ghost might take more.
Do I know you from somewhere? You look familiar.
I don't know. What's your name?
Name. You've performed before. You're that frog person.
Yeah, I am that frog person. You're right.
Yeah. You were pretty good. Anyway,
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Okay, so
Do you want
we
me to
tell
sing you a song right now?
No, thanks. Do we does that work? When you ask people if they want that? Like, is that branding? Is that you trying to get an audience and get your name out there? What is that?
Oh no, I was just curious. You said you heard me and that it was okay. So I was just curious if you wanted. I could always use the practice. So
Okay, no, like you opened for like the town concert. Like most people would have seen you. I didn't go out of my way to see you. Like you were just there.
yeah,
I feel
was
like we're losing the thread of this conversation. Do I need to go tell the church that ghosts are possessing the city?
Frog on the inside disappointed because that was her goal, was to distract him enough to lose the conversation. Is gonna be like, well, I don't know. I mean, I could mention it to somebody if you want me to.
Oh, I mean, yeah, if we both go and say like everyone beware of ghosts, we'll get the word out faster. That's a good plan.
That's true. I can take care of it for you though if you want.
And then you just hear from the ground, "Yes, let Miss Frog take care of things. She's very good at what she does."
God damn it. Wait, I feel like we need another stealth check for that. Because he still hasn't noticed me.
You're standing above him talking loudly with someone about how they're stealing their flowers.
Oh, I didn't
If
know
you
we were
want-
like right above him. Okay.
I mean, you're
I
not
thought
like
we were
right
still-
above him, but like it's the person came up to their flower garden in which Archimedes is stealing the flowers.
Okay, fine.
Huh? The ghosts know you by name?
I guess so. I don't know. What do you mean?
You got roll deception at disadvantage.
I
It's
said
gotta
I
be a
couldn't hear them.
17. I know.
Oh god. Oh, it was so close to being at 20, but then it was a 2, so 7.
Okay. They look through and like, are you using your magic to steal my flowers?
No. And then the frog's gonna come clean.
This.
No, Frog is gonna come clean and explain Archimedes and how she was just trying to help him have an adventure by himself. And then we'll collect Archimedes and be like, it's okay, we won't steal your flowers. And then
people are gonna hear about this. People are gonna hear that you con people out of their homes. What kind of performer is trying to steal flowers off the street? Can you not afford to buy them?
Okay. I'm not trying to steal them. This frog is trying to steal them.
And how did this frog get into town? And how does this frog speak? And how does this frog address you by name?
Okay. Do I have anything that can erase his memory?
Did you take Gift of Gab?
I did not. Then no.
Did you take Alter Thoughts?
Mm-mm.
Do you just want to punch him and put him in his bed and make him think that it was all a weird dream?
I might. Are there other people around?
No, not yet. Like, there will be soon, but right now it's just you two.
Okay. Oh, I should have cast guidance on myself that one time. Oh well. Okay, then I will try to knock him out right now.
Okay, go for it. Roll to attack.
Okay. Roll to attack.
Armor class is 12.
Where is my unarmed strike? Hello. Thank you. Okay. Does a 13 hit? I forgot what you said.
Yep. AC's 12,
Okay.
yeah. 13 hits.
Oh wow.
Cool.
Okay, that was close. Alright, and then I just roll for damage.
Well, if you're doing an unarmed
or
strike,
am I just-
it's set.
It's just okay. I'm just trying
It's
to
1
knock
plus
him
your
out,
strength
so-
mod. Okay, so what's your strength mod?
Okay. Not good. 0. So it's -1,
Okay.
so it ends up to 0.
Yeah, well, it always does at least 1. So yeah, you
Okay.
see this person, and you're just like, I'm gonna report you, and you deck them in the face for 1 point of damage. They're going to start running. What are you doing next? I guess as they run, you would get an opportunity attack if you wanted to take it.
Yes. I would like to take it. Okay. God, okay. I'm in a mess. Oh, wait, I have sleep. Does sleep do what I think it does?
Puts people to sleep?
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna cast sleep on him.
Okay. Cool. Yep, and whatever you roll on the pool, you roll more than enough health for this guy. So as he's just running, passes out, and they hit the deck on the street. Are you gonna clean it up at all, or are you just kind of running?
Yeah, no. I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna break into his home and put him in his bed. Okay, and then do I know anybody, aka Kess or Nori, that can erase memory?
I'm not sure you've all ever had that talk, so I don't think you would know.
Okay. What other allies do I have?
You honestly, you wouldn't be that far from Amy's home.
Okay. I don't know if she would like this. God damn it. Okay.
I'll let you think for a second as we go over to Nori having an interview with Dion. Unbeknownst to what's happening when Archimedes was allowed to do one singular thing by himself, you're interviewing Dion.
like my conversation with Julian, I'll start it off by saying,
Mhm.
how are you, Dion?
I mean, after yesterday, actually feeling pretty good. It was a fun time. That we have our reservations about that frog existing, but honestly, you all did a good job. It was fun. It was nice, and it was nice to have a moment to do something exciting, just to do it for the fun of it, and it was nice. So thank you.
No problem. And honestly, you primarily have Frog to thank for taking the brunt force of coming up with a lot of it. And don't worry about Archimedes. We already have a plan for what he's gonna do on the day of the ceremony. Be kind of locked away so he can't infringe upon anything that will be going on. Julian made that relatively clear, and that's no problem at all. I asked Julian just kind of a wide range of questions, want to run a couple things by you and ask you some similar ones. He said that he felt like it would be nice to have the ceremony somewhere outdoors, maybe by the tree that was sprouted during your bachelor party, or out in a field of wildflowers, or even at the tavern you guys met at. Does that all sound okay to you?
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Do you have a
All of it sounds good.
preference? One way or the other?
I mean, if we could get the tavern involved, that would be nice. Like, if you could somehow, like, if you could book it and then, like, we could have an after party there, I think that'd be a nice thing. But doing it outside is, I like the idea of the outdoor wedding. It sounds nice. And it doesn't need to be like a whole production. Like, it can just be like a short little thing if you want it to be.
Okay, well, what would you prefer? I'm not saying it needs to be a whole production, but would you prefer something a little bit longer, something in the middle,
Well, I mean, and if we're about to have like the world's longest production, so like medium at most.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. Julian also mentioned that he said you guys were gonna read your own vows. Is that something you feel okay about?
Yeah, that makes sense. We say nice things to each other all the time, so it shouldn't be that hard to do.
Okay.
I guess I need to know when you're planning to do this, so I know when I have to write them by.
Sure. What day of the week is it?
Wednesday.
Is it the middle? So maybe we'll say we'll do it on Saturday. How about that? So you have 4 more days. 3 more days.
Sure, and then we can all kind of leave for the capital from there together, maybe?
Yes, that sounds
Oh,
great.
Speaking of together, maybe, I was alerted to the fact that Frog brought 2 strangers in today. I imagine they're the people you told us you've been traveling with. Are they staying with us? Are they coming to the official wedding? We didn't give them an invitation, but we can if they're important to you. But we don't know who they are, let alone how to address. Who have you brought into our home?
They were or are 2 men that fought in the war. And I can let them kind of tell more of their story, but they're very safe. They're telepathically connected through some type of odd magic that also seems to be what we saw one of the druids or the clerics give their blessing during the church announcement a little while back. They have like a pink hue around them. So we're trying to figure out that, but also they're just like really good company, and they're also very moral and straight and narrow, and so they kind of keep, well, I guess help keep me in line, but their names are Seth and Alto, and I'm sorry Frog didn't let you know. So I think they're going to stay here and maybe come to the capital with us, but I don't think that they're expecting an invite to your official wedding.
Okay, yeah, we were turning down a lot of the rooms. I guess we can open one up that's not fully down. That's fine. That's fine. They didn't seem old enough to have been in the war. But if
Yeah,
they're
magic's like really, really messed with them, so it's a complicated thing.
well, I'll need to go make an introduction at some point. Anyway, back to your questions. I forget what you asked. Something about people.
Um, not quite. So how would you? So reading your vows is okay.
Mhm.
I also asked Julian if you wanted the church included, meaning like something about a scripture or a church thing. And he said if there was no need not to put them in. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, this is for us, not for them.
Perfect.
Let's make it for us.
What is your favorite thing about Julian?
You see him laugh for a second as the first thought that comes to his head is not an appropriate answer to give to you. And then he's like, I just like the way he's so calm and comfortable around everyone, and like in a way that I had to be trained to be. He just does it so naturally, and it's nice seeing the way that like he can draw people together and help form groups and form crowds and unite people in a way that doesn't feel superficial. It just feels genuine.
And what is your favorite memory you have of Julian?
There are a lot, but I really do like looking back at like before we even know who each other were, and just like when he performed for himself, and not when he was performing for groups or when he was performing for everyone. When it was like four people in the inn listening to it and just seeing excitement that four people had shown up, and like there's not a lot that gets him that excited anymore because things are a lot more predictable and known. But just the joy at seeing success having worked out, I like that. I like to think back to how he looked happy that day.
Nori, hearing this, will also continue to melt into her fourth cup of coffee today. Is there anything that's beautiful and warms my little Fey heart? Is there anything you don't want included in the ceremony or in the whole event, at least here?
I mean, you all have a tendency to like maximalize everything.
I completely understand what you're saying, and I'm thinking the complete opposite. Don't worry. I'm not going to go all Nori. I am going to go and be my other persona, Charles. I had someone else that I pretended to be at the very beginning of our journey together, so don't worry about it.
Oh,
But
Waterford St. Patrick.
yeah, there we go. I will be very calm, cool, and collected, and this will be a very beautiful moment that's focused on what you and Julian would like. I promise.
Yeah, that's nice. And we'll go back to Frog. What are you doing panicking in this person's home? You see pictures that indicate that they have a family that is not home, but will probably return at some point to the house that they live in. What are you doing?
Frog, clearly panicking, is like going to get Archimedes and be like, I tried to let you do one thing on your own, one thing, and this is what happens, and is going to be like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I know I shouldn't be yelling at
in
you.
my defense, if you didn't step in, they wouldn't have thought there was a ghost.
Perhaps
Why did they think I was a ghost?
they just didn't know. It's fine. And then Frog is going to put him in her backpack and close it so that he has to stay in there until this is finished. Then she's gonna like take a second and be like, "Oof, okay. And she's going to leave this man sleeping. How long will this last? I forgot. Do you know off the top of your head? I can
I
look.
think it lasts 10 minutes or an hour or until they're damaged.
Okay. For our sake, we're gonna hope it's an hour. Sleep. There it is. Oh God, 1 minute.
Oh, cool. So yeah, it lasts
Well,
1 minute.
okay, so we're gonna tie him up. So he cannot leave. And then we're gonna go see Mrs. Catonic and hope and pray that she will understand my distress and my apology and my regret. Okay? So, we're tying him up in the hopes that he will not remember any of this ever again. Okay?
Talk about taking a fucking left turn. So what you guys want to do in your session today? This was not included. Anyway,
Hold
This
on.
was-
No, hold on. I want to point out, you do know you're going to have to explain this to Cass when you get back, right?
No,
He's gonna have
because
the hardest
Frog
To
is
never
not.
mention this to anyone.
We are
This
not
could be
mentioning
Frog's
this to
secret
anyone
for
ever
life.
again. Correct. Okay.
Until Archimedes is
Oh
like,
fuck!
"Remember when
Archimedes
you
is gonna blow it.
okay, well, this
Anyway.
is training, so continue.
You
All right.
you make it. You tie this person up skillfully, as you are quite good at knots from Dolly, and then go to Miss Catonic's home. As you approach, like the door opens, and she's like, "Oh, Frau Jenna, I was not expecting you, but I felt a great sense of panic coming this way. Are you all right? You're not traveling with your companions? Are they okay?"
They're okay. I just have made a grand mistake and really need some help. May I come in for a moment?
Of course, you're always welcome here. Should we get tea?
Probably not. Frog
Okay.
will then explain, like, just blurting out everything that has happened and has been like, I was really just trying to let him be independent and have a good time and do his best and be successful and feel good about himself, but I really just ruined everything. Is there any way that you would be so kind to help me and erase this poor man's memory so that everything can just go back to normal? I will do anything, whatever you need.
Yeah, I can, but that's a huge show of force against someone who's done nothing wrong. To defend, and granted you are a friend of mine and a friend of the children's, but to do something like that because of your mistake would be quite disingenuous to the person's lived experience. Is it a matter of national security? Or is it simply that you are concerned that your reputation may be hindered by this?
Well, probably just my reputation, but I can guarantee you nothing like this will ever happen again.
There's been a change in the air in terms of the thing you've asked me to look into. The growing force of the Fey goddess who I can't watch but I can feel more of. If you wanted to come to an agreement about what to do with her gone, we could have talks and I could help you remove something currently.
Okay. I don't remember Miss Catonic's alignment exactly with all of this. Is there any insight
You
that I could...
never really got anything from her. You know that she exists outside of space and time to just
Right.
She's essentially creating a welcoming end to everyone that chooses to go to her end when it's their
Okay.
time.
So we can assume that she is in cahoots with, like, not necessarily in cahoots, but, like, she benefits from Gemini's...
Not
Existence?
necessarily, because the two of them are not, like, she has no Fae about her. She is
Okay.
something else. And it's you got the sense last time you were here that she didn't like the idea of what Gemini was doing, because Gemini is defying an end. Like, she created a second part of herself
Okay.
that couldn't
Got it.
live.
Yes, that makes sense.
And that also, like, with her, it's like an acceptance of you choose to join the family so that when you're gone, you have this safe, expansive void. With Gemini, it's a lot of I'm power hungry. So they're
Okay.
not aligned, and they're not necessarily like their intentions would never make sense to work together, but you have no idea. You still have
Okay.
no idea what and who Miskatonic is and can do,
Right.
other than
Right.
something beyond the space and time. So
Good. Okay. So based on like what I'm reading about her and her body language and what she's saying, do I
Mhm.
get the idea that she is wanting to push me in a direction, or to have like an honest conversation with like Nori and us and the princes, and like having her input valued when we are
I think
deciding
I
what to
think
do?
like even without an insight check, you would know she's never tried to push anyone in any direction. She's very much like, you all make your own choice, and if you want safety, I am here for it. What that would mean for her feeling a power vacuum, you don't know, but of like if she's trying to currently push you in a direction, you have no indication of.
Okay, so Frog would offer up the what I just said, like having her opinion and situation and information valued in a conversation about this when the time comes, and right now basically, and we'll be like, is that something that we can agree on, or is there something else that you're looking for?
An open conversation is all that would be needed. Do you want to come back tomorrow? Give people a chance to know what's going on, or should we just have a talk by ourselves? What would be better?
I think coming back with everybody would probably be our best option. We would have all the most information that we can.
Okay.
And then Frog will like go back to her panic state and be like, "Okay, so will you help me then?"
Oh, yes. And you see, like, she like moves her hand that moves you out of like the like entryway into like that expanse of like the starlight when you're standing on like
Yes.
the hard blackness, and she just grabs one of the stars and breaks a chunk of it off and then puts it back up, and is like, the day is gone. He doesn't remember what he's done today.
So he's still tied up though.
You
Oh
tell
no.
me-
That was an inside thought.
Was it an inside thought? Also, it doesn't matter if
Maybe.
it was an inside thought, because we know that
Oh,
Amy
yeah,
can
she
read
can read,
everyone's
yeah.
minds at
That's
all
true.
points.
That's true.
You tied the
I
poor
panicked,
man
okay?
up.
I panicked. I didn't know what to do. I just
What
didn't
was the
want
end goal?
to erase his memory.
No, the end goal before this.
To let Archimedes have a good experience on his own so he can believe in himself.
What did he need to do?
Get some flowers?
Oh. We're gonna have a talk.
I know,
your friends are here.
It went real
Go
wrong.
on.
It's okay. Please don't tell anyone. I will regret this to the end of my days.
Go untie the man, and I will see you and your companions tomorrow. If you choose to
Okay.
bring the princes, that is up to you. But I think we should all have a talk before you head north.
I agree. And then Frog will thank her profusely and put in the back of her mind to bring toys for the children next time. And head off to go. I don't want to go untie him because then he'll know it was me. I don't know what to do.
You have more uses of the sleep spell.
That's true. Okay. I will head back to his home, and I will stealthily, using guidance also, go into his home. Should I roll for that?
Yeah, I need you to roll for
Okay.
stealth here.
Okay. Oh, God bless. Okay, 18 plus 20.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to, like, because the front door is still broken slightly from when you had to break into the house, the lock
Mhm.
isn't right, so you're able to, like, quietly push the door open, and you go upstairs to where you know this man will be tied up. A bit of surprise as there's now his partner back, and they're like, what's going? And you cast sleep. Both of them go down. You undo the rope, and you're out of there within a minute. And that's all that the man remembers nothing of the day. His partner just remembers coming home to someone tied up, and then suddenly they weren't tied up. And Fargena slips into the early morning sun.
Good. Okay. She will be going home right away with Archimedes in her backpack, not allowing him to say a single word.
Miss Frog, I think who was the lady we talked to? Yeah. And you make it back. Nori would have finished your interviewing. Cass would have finished talking with the brothers, and you can all reconvene in your room. For anything you want to talk about, or anything you want to do for the rest of the day. Because I think Frog made some plans that the other two need to know about for tomorrow.
Yeah. Frog will let them know, and then also tell Nori that we can never send
We'll
Archimedes
let them
out.
know, meaning what? What is Frog letting them know?
That she just ran into Mrs. Catonic, and we are going to go have a meeting with her tomorrow, with maybe the princes if they would like to come.
Lovely! More dream terror things.
Right.
I'm so excited, but like, how? How'd you run into her? Doesn't she like typically just hang out at her house?
Yep, I just was walking by the house and knocked on the door, and that's how I ran into her.
Uh-huh. Insight check.
Go ahead. You can do perception or persuasion.
Perception. Wait, no, you mean
No, deception or persuasion.
deception? Okay.
If
I
you're
was
trying
that
to
doesn't
like
make
more
sense.
say, yeah, I did just show up at
Okay.
her house, do persuasion. If you're trying to do more like, yeah, there was no reason, do deception. Against
Okay,
Nora's
we're gonna
insight.
do deception, and that's a
24.
15. Oh, well, okay, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, so on 9 higher, Frog, what do you think Nori gains from your... I just knocked on the door and happened to run into her.
She can definitely tell that I was there for a reason, but she doesn't necessarily know what that reason is. But based on what Frog said earlier, saying we are never letting Archimedes do anything by himself again, she can probably conclude that it was not a good experience why she was there.
It would have gone fine if I was allowed to be doing it by myself. From inside the
With
bag.
that information, I will say, wow, okay, so this is gonna be an interesting conversation. What, pray tell, does Miss Catonic want to chat about?
Just some conversation about the Gemini magic and everything going on there.
Great, lovely. Maybe include the prince. I don't know, but like, they're
Yeah.
also trust, but probably important.
Yeah, we should definitely invite them.
And I think that's a great spot to wrap up this episode. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, audience, for listening. We, as always, are Help Action Needed. You can find us on the socials at Instagram and Threads and Blue Sky. And also email us at helpactionneeded@gmail.com because we'd like to hear from you all. If you want to see some of our faces live at random times, you can also find us on Twitch at twitch.tv/helpactionneeded. All of these are in the link tree below, so don't feel like you need to find them by yourself. But yeah, as always, it's great having you. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, audience, for listening, and goodbye.
That was fucking wild.